But she thinks the signals might have been delayed. She said she heard the train before she actually saw the warning signals that it was coming. To give you an idea of the scope of this line, take a look. It actually starts here, right at the entrance to Barnes & Noble, heads straight back all the way to the center of the mall, then it wraps around a few times, heads back the other way, all the way to the doors of the mall. The line ends here, outside the mall, and even these people at the back of the line say it's worth the wait. They say it should take about 3 to 4 weeks to get the first series of the vaccine through all the schools. This is one of the drinks, 4 Loco. It comes in a 24-ounce can and has a 12% alcohol content. Your average beer, like Bud Light, has a 4.2% alcohol content. That means you'd have to drink not 1, not 2, but 5 12-ounce cans of beer to get the same amount of alcohol as is in one of these. But what we do know is that about an hour ago, 2 men walked into the Citgo on Mount Hope and Bradley Avenue to rob the store. Now, in doing so, they shot the store clerk. There couldn't be a better assignment for me because I truly do bleed green and white. Now, if you look behind me, you can see the sign is up. The halls are quiet. DeWitt Junior High is out for the day. But sometimes it's what happens after hours that causes the most commotion.
Well, yesterday I picked my daughter up from track practice and she told me that her phone was gone.
His daughter Madison said someone stole it from her bag in the girls' locker room and she had no idea who.
And my other daughter was with me and she got a text message saying that somebody has Madison's phone and they're texting sexual stuff.
Police say those texts went out to about 8 of Madison's friends. 3 of them responded.
He was posing as Madison, you know, trying to convince her friends that she was bisexual.
Luckily, the Slaters have a phone with a GPS that tracks their kids' phones. So once their daughter's phone went missing, they just opened the locator, and eventually it brought them here to the 700 block of Kenwood in Lansing.
I knocked on the door and I asked the lady if she had any friends or family that lived in DeWitt that possibly had been visiting today.
We had just assumed that it was a kid. And it turned out it wasn't. It was a 23-year-old janitor from our school.
The Slaters say at first he denied having the phone, but eventually gave it up. Last night, the man, whose name has not been released, was fired. And today, police arrested him.
Big reality check for our kids that it is out there.
So she says they have to be careful, even in the hallways at school. In DeWitt, Alison Himelhoch, 6 News. Gavin Bodo is like any normal 5-year-old boy. He likes trucks, SpongeBob cheeseburgers,
and robots.
What isn't normal about this robot-loving kid is how he spent the last 3 months of his life. In August, Gavin was diagnosed with both ALL and AML leukemia.
In the very beginning, when Gavin got diagnosed with leukemia, it was devastating. It just tore the family apart.
Sometimes it makes me cry a little bit.
Doctors said Gavin would have to go back and forth to Grand Rapids for treatment, but the family couldn't afford the transportation, so they put 17 of these donation jars in stores around Olivet and Charlotte.
We've gotten about $1,200 so far.
People that know us, know our family, or don't even know us, just know our hardship, donate whatever they can.
Most people anyways. 3 weeks ago, someone stole one of the cans from Frank's Party Store in Charlotte. Then Tuesday, these 2 men walked into the Felposh Express. One distracted the clerk, while the other slipped the jar under his shirt and walked out.
It's pretty heartless.
That's just the lowest of the low.
So now Gavin's family is asking the community for help once again.
We don't know who they are.
Maybe the cops will come and pick him up.
I hope they catch him.
So this family can focus on helping Gavin get back to a normal, healthy life. In Olivet, Alison Himelhoch, 6 News. Welcome to the home of the Red Raiders, where this bird is the most popular thing in sight. When you look at this picture, tell me what you see.
A Raider bird.
The Portland Raiders.
I see the Portland Raider bird.
Not the Ball State logo.
Not at all.
No, that's Portland Raider bird.
But that's not what this university in Muncie, Indiana says.
Now, the blue in October, we get a letter from Ball State University saying that's our logo. We trademarked it in 1989 or whatever. Cease and desist. Please don't use it anymore.
Kind of silly.
They're a high school. Let them be.
I've been wearing it for a whole life.
But despite how the Portland public feels, Ball State won't budge. The district offered to pay for licensing or change the logo a little. by adding something like extra feathers.
Unfortunately, trademark law doesn't allow us to make exceptions when it comes to protecting our valuable marks.
So, from the little things like the football helmets to the big things like the gym school floor, Portland's logo is literally everywhere, which means changing it isn't going to be easy.
The gym floor is going to be expensive.
I think it's totally ridiculous at a time when the schools have no money for programs and are cutting staff that something like this is being forced upon us.
But Portland says they'll bounce back with a logo better than before.
We will own that Raider bird.
And they'll sport it to show Portland is proud to be.
Go Raiders!
Alison Himelhoch, 6 News.